welcome back to the Truly Kenya podcast. And today I have the pleasure of having a conversation with Benjie Ross, who I do know from way back. And Benjie is a songwriter, a producer, a musician, and the CEO of BSR Music Group. So if you are not familiar with Benjie, he has worked with M.C Hammer, Toni, and D.R.S. And he has over 10 million in music sales, 8 releases, 1 #1 single, 3 top 10 albums. But there's more. Also, his expertise in leadership has led to close to over 100 million in sales throughout his career. So he is bona fide. This is the real deal here that we have an opportunity to talk to. So with that, welcome, Benjie Ross.
Hey, good to see you, And I may add that you have not aged a day over high school, so thank you.
Oh, thank you. And, you haven't either. I think you got that high school weight,
no,
too.
No, not quite.
Did you go? Oh, yeah, looking good, Benjie. Taking me way back.
Easy. Good to be here.
Good. Okay, so I'm really glad to have you.
Likewise.
Now, I did not know in high school you were so involved in music.
Yeah.
So how did that start for you?
Well, music for me it's been a huge part of my life. For me, even way back in high school, it came from really my parents. You know, they really instilled it in me and my siblings, and we were always surrounded by it. So we had no choice but to be immersed. And my parents were extremely gifted. Mm-hmm. There was always singing and dancing. We had to play multiple instruments. We were like the young Jacksons, if you will. You know, so it's always been a huge part. And of all, I've been blessed with a lot of gifts, but of all my gifts, music and entertainment has really been the strongest.
So do all of you and your siblings, do you all sing?
We all did, not us professionally. I'm the only one who's doing it professionally, but we all did, starting up singing, performing in different choirs. I played multiple instruments, drums, clarinet, piano. We all sang in different choirs. My mom taught many of the choirs that we were in, so we were just immersed, and we all loved it.
Okay. So at Christmas,
if
you all started singing together, nobody would be like, where are the earplugs?
First of all, it wasn't just Christmas. It was just spur of the moment. Tuesday morning.
I heard that.
And then as we got a little older, we tried to do a little bass competition, me with my dad and my brothers. But no, always. Just a great thing. And the great thing about it, I think, as I was having a conversation a couple of weeks ago, music really, it brings families together.
For sure.
It helps people heal and laugh. There's so many great things that you can tie into it. And I honestly believe Quincy Jones said it, without music, I believe the world would die. So for me, it was just a natural thing that we all loved. And so I was the one that it just spoke to the loudest, from the
So how do we move it from I'm having a good time with my family to like, I'm going to pursue this. This is a real deal.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that was probably early on too. And I know I'm dating myself, but back in the day, I really, people talk about writing and production and people talk about what's happening right now. But for me, it started probably like 4th grade, where I knew I wanted to do something musically. I remember listening to Casey Kasem, American Top 40 back in the day. And he would get on and introduce the songs. And I remember I could hear every song that was popular on the radio, maybe like the top 50.
Right.
And I could pick out every instrument just in my head and just know it all by heart. And so that was really the early stages. And one of my brothers, Peter, was really instrumental in helping me to create. We would just change the words to different songs, maybe add some vulgarity without our parents' permission. But that was really the early stage, so really around 4th grade. And then the first album that I begged my mom to buy me was Off the Wall, Michael Jackson.
Great album.
Classic. So I literally had about $8 to my name at that time. So we were right outside of Winchell's Donuts.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, Benjie, you don't even have any money to buy this record. Such and such. I just begged her. I kept begging her all week. So she said, okay, let's go. So then we went to the House of Blues, and I used all the money that I had to my name. And that was the first cassette. And then I didn't have enough for that vinyl. So I got the vinyl a couple of weeks later. But that was the first. And so going over the iterations and my dreams, I remember reading the liner notes. You can imagine somebody in 4th grade. And I would say, well, what is writing and production? What does that mean? And I'd listen to all Mike's the perfection in terms of vocal prowess and the harmonies. And And I used to say to myself, literally, just laying on the bed listening to that and many other albums, and saying, "Wow, I want to do that."
Right.
So that's for me. That's when I said one day. I didn't know how, but
Yeah.
that was the very first moment for my first record.
Wow. Okay. So, Girlfriend, that's Off the Wall is still one of my favorite.
A classic.
Michael Jackson.
I heard
Yeah.
you say Girlfriend.
Yeah, I
you like
loved
that?
it. Oh my God.
Paul McCartney. That's a classic.
Yeah,
Classic.
loved it. So, so we have decided this is what we're going to do.
Right.
And then how do you get your big break working with other people or how, and then out of everyone you worked with,
Yeah.
does someone or a group bring the fondest memories to you?
Well, see, now you're trying to paint me in a corner. But no.
Listen, get ready for the corner.
Oh, God, Jesus, Lord.
Get ready.
No, I would say, first of all, it's an honor to do anything like that you dream of as a child,
Right.
professionally in any capacity. And your question was how did it turn into a big break?
Yeah.
For me, I was always thinking about it, but at the same time, 4th, 5th grade, elementary, junior high, high school, we're working on our normal things, our traditional things, our studies and all those things. So it was always in the back of my mind. But what I was doing to kind of keep myself ingrained, I was always in a bunch of choirs, whether it was inside and outside of school. I was always creating and being funny and telling jokes. So the creative juices, they're just natural. They're always flowing. So I'm always doing some type of creativity. But then when it came to high school, though, you start thinking about college. My 2 older brothers were doing well at Morehouse College, so I followed suit and came a few years after. But I knew that at some point I wanted to really get serious about that. I mean, I was pursuing my degree, which was in marketing, business administration with a concentration in marketing. But I also knew that, okay, I really want to get started and do this at a higher level. So I was performing in pageants, got a little more serious, doing some original work. You know what I mean? Had little fans, I call them fans, if you will.
Did you have the glasses? Because if you didn't have the glasses, it didn't matter.
The stunner stayed in place.
Okay.
Different levels. This is the dope. This is the Francois Rosé version.
I heard that. Okay.
But that's when I got a little serious. But the great thing is that it was kind of a dual thing for me. I had the degree. I had great opportunities.
Yeah.
When I graduated to work at large corporations, but I said, okay. One of my greatest opportunities happened to be in California at M&M Mars, but I knew secretly, I said, that's when I want to start making it really crack. So I graduated, and then right after that, I immediately came home. I had 3 buddies of mine who had the exact same goals. We knew each other from high school. Maurice Stewart, John Rohn, Ontario Haynes, they called themselves they called themselves the whole nine.
Yeah.
And so we were working every day. So it was I had this great job, and literally I would drive, take my Ford Taurus, my last appointment for the day, come back from the South Bay, and I would just take off my coat and tie like Superman and go right to the studio every day. So that's when we got serious. Started putting together some real good content, started to get noticed, and really started
but you guys a group at this point? Did you join them as a
No,
group?
no, I was always independent.
Okay.
But since John had all the equipment,
Yes.
we all had to go there every day because we didn't have that equipment and we didn't know how to work it. So we needed
You need a job.
We need a job.
Okay. Okay. So then you guys create something?
Yeah. So then we started to write and produce some serious stuff, original content. I was always writing. I actually had some original content. I started to write some original things like right upon my graduation year. So every week I was bringing things to the table. I would bring ideas. I'd have all the melodies and things written out. I needed their help in terms of just getting it, manifesting it into actual sound and record it onto tape. And then we would record everything down in John's basement in the bathroom. We had soundproof with a microphone. So the whole bottom floor was just dedicated to us every day. It was as loud as can be, but it was fantastic. And one of my very first songs that I wrote down there came from a poem I wrote in in college, when I was in trouble with my girlfriend at the time, and it was called, it came from a poem I wrote called Heart of Gold, which became Please Stay. And that was one of my best demos. It was a slow track. Got a little buzz from my little fans, a few girls coming out of college. So I had a little fan base. May have been like 8 people, but they loved it. But that's that particular
strong eight.
That's right. So I had to use what I had. So that song started to get some great notice. But at the same time, I became friends with Dwayne Wiggins, founding member of Toni. So we were talking, and Dwayne was coming by my studio sessions. We barely knew each other. He was coming by parties we were giving. We became friends. And so that song, Please Stay, It was like the best demo I had done all year. Everybody loved it. Oh man! And so I was on vacation, and Maurice took my cassette, because we had cassettes out
Yes.
at that time. Took my cassette and left it on Dwayne's kitchen counter. And then I came back from vacation, and Mo was like, Ben, hey man, listen, Dwayne wants to use that track for the album.
Oh,
and I'm
wow.
like, well, I can't say it on the.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? So I remember I was having a pool party. It was kind of a unsanctioned. My parents didn't know about the party I was having because they were out of town.
I heard that.
But it was nice though. But that was an added
Strong
news.
8.
Right there it is. And so when he told me that, in your mind you're like, oh, whatever, right? So but of course I'm like, oh man, of course, let's make it happen.
Yeah.
And so as a couple of weeks went on, I saw Dwayne. He confirmed it. Yeah,
Wait. You had a pool? You had a swimming pool at your house?
Yeah.
I know where you
never-
did.
never-
I
you
know
never came by
where
the
you
pool
didn't
party?
live. Okay. All right. Keep
See,
going.
see,
All
there
right.
you go.
All right. So you had this pool party.
I think I invited you.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
You turned me down.
Okay.
I was
All right.
actually quite disappointed that you didn't make it.
You should have been.
That's right. I have PTSD from that. Should have invited Kenya to that. But that was the first time, you get noticed, the hometown
Yeah.
hero, Dwayne and Ray and Tim
Yeah.
and the crew. And so for me, I'm like, oh yeah. So at the same time, I'm still shopping my deals with other labels. We used to go to conventions and things like that to get noticed. But that was the first time someone was actually saying they want to use it. But obviously you don't believe that.
Right.
And a few weeks later, again, like I said, I confirmed that. And lo and behold, that song that I wrote called "Please Stay" became Dwayne loved it, adapted it, called it "Slow Wine," and that was on the Sons of Soul album, one of their greatest selling albums to date.
Okay, so at that time though, you were independent, so you didn't really have representation.
Oh, I did not.
So you had to
We just had
negotiate that deal.
Yes, right. Had to do pure hustle, and at the time. Because I'm right out of college, but we were always hustling, and I had great business acumen because I had a great corporate job, and so I would say, okay, let me present myself, let me get my demo. We had our packages, I had my photo shoots, all my stuff that you need for that press kit, right?
And you are still very organized like that. You are probably the most organized person. Seriously.
Well,
let me tell you something. I know you think I'm bullshit. I'm really not.
that.
You are, seriously, like, this is real. Like, I was looking at your stuff thinking like, damn, Kenya, you need to step it up. You ain't even got a picture. I mean, come on. I mean,
no.
The shit is real for you.
Well,
I love it.
Well, and I appreciate that. I think, to be honest, when you're serious about things, and a lot of that comes from my business acumen and background, but when you're going towards something, I mean, you have to have some organization and hustle and drive.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because at the time when I was starting, there wasn't any back. It was just me. If I could get on the phone, I could talk to whoever I could talk to. I'd organize my day, get out of there, go to the studio, go back, do it again. You have to be that if you're serious about it. You know what I mean? Because it's a dual role.
Right.
And I'm taking my money that I'm making from my job and putting a great deal into the studio time and the sessions but so I had to take it seriously. I had a lot at stake to me, but at the same time it started to pay off when people started to notice.
Yeah.
And so I think not only organization, but putting the heart and soul into all of that product was important for me, and that's what was coming through and resonating with the people that were hearing it. So then again, that track became Slow Wine, and at the same time I was negotiating to come on board with Hammer's label. And so man, that was a hell of an entree, and to be a part of that and to be recognized, and obviously that's the Toni's largest selling album, and then also to leverage that into writing and producing for Hammer for a number of years, that's just fantastic. And being from Oakland, I mean, wow, these are Oakland heroes. Right. And so to have that interest, to have them reach out and to want and need our services, you can't ask for a better situation.
Oh, so that was really good for you. So let me ask you this. Do you think that labels mean as much today as they did now? With so many people being independent, is it is it even necessary for a label now? Or
well,
they don't hold as much
I would
weight?
say that's a great question, because I think first and foremost, the reality is that it's a lot easier to put out your work these days than it was ever before. Yeah. Right? In terms of whether it's the internet, whether it's all these accesses, these different workstations, all these tools, people are creating things on their phones, their iPads, I mean, whatever. But there are some advantages for organizations that have leverage, like the labels that have been around. But I think the greatest advantage nowadays for artists, people that are brand new specifically, is that you can virtually control your own destiny in a number of ways. At the same time, the market is flooded with more people, but at the same time, having that flexibility and the ability to do that when you want it, have your product look and sound the way you want it, without having to go through hoops and the politics that labels may present at the time. it's definitely an independent person's market in many ways.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be crafty and you have to really separate yourself. But I think, to your point, in a grand scheme of things, it's way easier than it was before. I mean, before you had to have physical units.
Right.
I mean, I'm fortunate to be
in a trunk.
That's right. That's right. That's the old hammer, the two-short hammer model.
Right,
but for me personally, you know, I became a multi-platinum writer and producer for 2+ million units back in the day when we didn't have any digital anything. So it was a lot harder. So people had to get out, physically get dressed. They had to look sharp like yourself. They had to drive down to Tower Records or Tease or Leopold Records to get their stuff. They had to go hang out, spend some money, park, drive
stand
back.
in line.
Stand in line, all that other stuff. So it would take you like 4 hours to get whatever song you needed. Nowadays, you can get it in seconds.
Right. Now, and let me ask you, though, about that. Like, on some level, do you kind of wish we still had to either buy it like that or because now I have Apple Music.
That's right.
And I didn't even realize this until probably a couple of weeks ago. Like, so I think I'm downloading some, you know, like I'm being supportive.
Yeah.
And what I found out is, well, we appreciate it. But if you really want to be supportive, you need to go buy it for $9.99.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's a great question. I think there's a lot of answers to that. And I appreciate you asking that. We have our family chat, so we have a lot of things. I'm very active. I say a lot of stuff that I would never say in public, but it's kind of funny. I say some corny stuff. But one of the things I said recently.
No, you're not corny.
Okay,
that's not a word I would use to describe you.
My brothers and sister would call me. They would.
Okay.
My son would call me. But anyway, that's one of the things I brought up the other day. Like, I mean, I really miss those days because it's a whole different experience. And I think when everything is in the box, you know, whatever it is. I mean, we're talking about music, how we consume things. Everything is just instantaneous. You miss out on the whole experience. Right. And so, like, for example, this studio where we're in today, I remember when this studio first started because right next door you had Leo's Pro Audio when you were getting all the audio equipment. I used to talk to all the people next door. Yeah. And so, but that's back when you were creating and you saw people face to face in order to get your music heard or to present something or to even perform. Right. You had to physically get out and go. So I think two things, we are very spoiled. Yes, right? For sure. But I think a lot of times the people who've never had that experience are really missing out. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yep. Like my son, who's in music as well, he doesn't know what it's like to go to a record store. Right. You know, and it's like, oh, you know, it's fantastic. Cause
when he can buy it from the bed.
No, seriously.
Yeah,
it's like we pay our bills and all that. You know, so I think as a whole, we really miss out on a lot of that. I understand, obviously, the advent of digital and the technology. You can't avoid that. It makes it easier and faster and whatnot. But you miss that experience. I mean, I love the artwork in the albums. You know, Michael Off the Wall was the first that had one of the. You flip it out, and you got the glitter socks with the full. And if you open it up this way, it was standing in front. It was the full body. Right. You know, that's part of the experience. And you read the lyrics.
I was getting ready to say
the sleeves
lyrics
out.
And the thank yous.
Girl, I mean, so for me, listening to that, putting that vinyl on real carefully so you don't scratch it. That whole flavor is just not there. Now, luckily, I still have vinyl. Yeah. And I still, and some of my releases come out in vinyl, but it's just
really?
It's not the same. Yeah. Tears Run Dry, I know we're going to talk to. That's coming out in vinyl, too.
Wow. But so why are you doing that?
Oh, because I love it. I mean,
for the nostalgia?
Oh, of course. Nostalgia. Yes. But then a lot of people are kind of getting hip to that. Even people who weren't even born in the vinyl era are like, and the quality is different. The warmth is different. Yeah. You know, the way
my son loves vinyl.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I mean, he has a beautiful wall just full of albums.
Fortunately for me, my mom and dad loved vinyl too. They even made records of their own back in the 50s when they were younger. Back in the day, you could go down some places and get it cut on the acetate. Yeah. But they have that. But then they had their own collection. So I have their collections and my collections since the mid-'70s. Yeah. So I have a room with thousands of vinyl that is just sacred.
Oh, wow.
Classic pieces. But it's priceless. I don't play them all the time because I want to preserve them. But, oh, man. But that whole, the whole experience is just, it's lost, you know?
It is lost. I agree with you.
That's a long answer, but I miss that.
Yeah.
I miss it. Yeah. You know? And I'm huge on art, visual arts. And I actually was going to major in art. I had some art scholarships before I went to Morehouse. But I once wanted to be an architect. So I love the visual aspects. And one of my oldest brother, Allie, his favorite group was Earth, Wind, and Fire. You talk about album artwork. Yes. Oh, that was ridiculous. It was educational.
Yes.
You know, it was.
In many ways.
I'm like, what is Maurice White wearing? What is a dashiki? What's this marimba? I mean, all the symbolism. But seriously, the artwork that was part of the journey.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when you
Right.
talk about vinyl, I can go on and on because,
Right.
and then part of the discovery when you went to the record stores, you would go through the crates. And depending on the record store you'd go to, they'd have all the genres.
Yeah.
Then you go down in the basement, they have the imports, stuff that you couldn't buy locally.
Right.
And then, you know, when I was DJing, I started DJing since I started DJing in 7th grade, the summer of the 7th grade. So it was important for me to have every popular record out. So I was always collecting. I was
yes.
riding my bike, riding
Yes.
my moped before I could
Yes.
drive, to go to Leopold's or go to Tease to get my
Leopold,
vinyl.
yeah.
So I'm man, the affection, the love affair for vinyl for me is priceless.
Well, okay, so then in fact, that was, okay. Anyways, I'm going to say, you remember Sylvester?
Of course.
That was the first time I realized that a guy could be a girl.
Yeah, right.
Was hit that
Education,
album.
right.
Yeah,
right.
education. Like
What
you said,
what track you think about? Get Off? Get Off?
I don't know what it was,
Right,
but
right, right.
I had never seen it.
Oh, that may have
I
been
didn't know it
Foxy,
was
yeah.
possible. I didn't know it was
Right,
possible.
right.
Okay,
Education.
so,
Education
Yeah,
there. There we go.
Yes.
There we go.
Okay. But okay, now let me ask you this: so when you were writing,
Yes.
and like, you know, because I'm not creative like that,
Mm-hmm.
like, what's your muse, or like, what is it? Like, are you writing? Like, what makes you creative? Like, I want to write about this, or I want this to be a song. Or
That
how
is
does
so
it work?
funny. That is so funny. And I told you, I mean, literally, even though I didn't really know what it was, but even back to 4th grade, I was always writing and thinking of different things.
Yeah.
You know, I always loved English. I used to love Greek mythology. And whenever we had a chance to read out loud in the classroom, I would always raise my hand. You know.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
I know. But no, I love that. I mean, someone might say, "Oh, you like to hear yourself talk." I may have liked
No,
that.
I just think you were a show-off. That's it.
No, very shy.
You
know, I'm very shy. I'm more relaxed. I'm more relaxed
I'm barely
now.
bringing it out
No,
of
no,
you
no.
right now. Okay, I don't know how we making it. Okay, I don't know how we getting it.
But no, I always, in terms of the writing process, you know, first of all my talents are God-given. So I can't really control where it comes from. I could be in the supermarket, walking down the street. They come to me. Songs and ideas have been coming to me since I was little, really, really little.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I started to really make them make sense.
Yeah.
And have something that resonated as I got, you get more mature.
Right.
But my ideas, they can come at any time. So one thing I learned years ago, and this may have been through an interview I was watching with Michael Jordan. They were just talking about his game and prowess and just his dominating nature on the court and impacting basketball. And he said, I let the game come to me. And I thought that was so interesting because a lot of times you hear it in different ways. We're talking about art and music, but I think if you force it, you force it to fit in a box, or you force it to fit in a certain genre, or you force it because the radio or people are looking for it, I think it takes away from the overall integrity. So I honestly believe one of my favorite influences, I talked about Michael, but you Quincy Jones, Stevie Wonder, Babyface, Prince.
Yeah.
We grew up in a time some of the greatest music has ever been created. I remember seeing these people, seeing my first concert, the Jackson 5 at the Circle Star Theater, just being mesmerized. And then in my mind, even in my young mind, I'm thinking about how was that created. But what I didn't know is I had the gift in me all along. And so as they come to me, I say, like this latest song, Tears Run Dry, I was talking about it recently, and I think some of my greatest pieces, they just come organically. They come naturally from the heart. I'll sit down and say, oh, I want to talk about X, Y, and Z, and yes, I can do that. But the greatest verses, the greatest melodies, they can come while I'm asleep. I literally just wrote a song 2 weeks ago, and the bulk of it came from the last 30 minutes of my sleep.
So, do the words come before the music, or does the music come before the?
Great question. Sometimes it might.
I like to pause right quick. I hope the outside audience there, you realize how many times he has said, I'm asking some very good questions here. Okay. I just would like to let you know. That, thank you, Benjie,
I concur.
For noticing these great questions.
Come on now, of course. I notice greatness. I recognize greatness. Sure.
Greatness recognizes greatness. Thank you. Okay, no, but seriously, so yeah, what would you say comes first in terms of how you
Wow, that's a great question. It comes in various forms. I'm searching for lyrics right now for some music I'm doing.
Yeah.
But they come at certain times. I think the good thing for me is that sometimes I might be working on one song and I may have something halfway done.
Yeah.
But then if I don't have the lyrics that I need to finish it,
Yeah.
there's always 3 other things I could be working on. So
Got
I'm
it.
never at a loss
Okay.
for that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
For the progress.
Right.
And I have an excellent memory. So that really helps me a lot. So
Yeah.
whether, with my songs, I write and produce and do everything, all the instruments. And so you have to have a good memory,
Wow.
but then you also have to have the ability to be flexible. So I don't force it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
Like,
you can walk away. Like, that's not finished,
that's
but I'm
right.
going to walk away over
and let me
and
start
do-
something
yeah.
else. That's
Yeah.
right. So I have enough, and I'm able to multitask to do that. But I mean, they come. I mean, it can be the lyrics. For me, I'm kind of an old softy.
Yeah.
Like I said, Babyface, Lionel Richie.
Who's a present day? Do we have a present day Quincy or Stevie or any of those greats that you mentioned? Or
Ooh.
would you
Well,
say?
first of all, the greats don't die. Come on now.
Boom. Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
hey,
Not such a great question. That's what I get.
No. That is a great
No.
question.
No. I mean.
But I mean, there are a lot of great artists, man, that I love.
So who would you if you could collaborate?
Oh,
either
man.
writing or singing
Oh,
or
my God.
producing. Come on, listen.
Oh,
I'm making the rules. You only can choose one. Don't be choosing a million people.
See, why do you say one?
Just
Well,
because
that's
it's
too-
my question.
Okay, well, great. Well, I mean, if I had
Who
to,
would it be?
Oh, I had to pick. Well, I can't just be one. Can I get 2?
You can get 2.
Okay, well.
Wait, did you notice how flexible I am?
There we go. I appreciate that.
Okay,
I appreciate
all
that.
right,
Right,
2.
you're a regular yoga instructor. So.
Hey,
All right,
yoga.
let me give it 2. So
Okay, give it
okay,
to me.
if we're talking, so you're saying alive right now?
Yes,
it can't be
alive.
Okay.
No.
Oh, alive right now. Well, then I would say Stevie Wonder and Babyface.
Now, do you want to write, produce, or sing, or
I'd
any of that?
love to do anything I could with those 2 first and foremost.
Yeah.
But let me just give you the backdrop.
Oh,
I mean, first
boom.
of all, I mean, when you talk about just artistry
Yeah.
and talents,
Yeah.
I mean, there are very few people more talented than Stevie Wonder, pound for pound. I mean, you talk about songs in the key of life.
Yes.
Let me
Yeah,
tell you
that's true.
something. That's in the chamber right now.
Right.
All right.
Right.
I mean, love's in need of love today, Sir Duke. I wish. I mean, please. Are you kidding? Isn't she lovely? I mean,
Yes.
You can go through many cycles in life, and he covers it all in
Right.
Village
True.
Ghetto Land.
True.
So when you talk about living artists, let's just start with Stevie.
Yeah.
Number one, the catalog is just prolific.
Right. For sure.
Stevie has done it all. You talk about the Motown years to present. I mean, his influence is indelible, right? I had a chance to meet Berry Gordy, and
Was he nice in person?
yes, very nice.
Okay.
I love that man. He told me, and this was a few years ago. He said he still plays tennis every single day, and I think Berry is 90 years old or close to 90.
Oh, slow
He's
game.
not young. But if you talk about the influence, I
Yes,
mean, Motown,
yes,
I had to bring
yes,
that up.
yes.
But Stevie, just phenomenal catalog. So many classics. Just the prolific, whether it's on the piano with the vocal, it's just untouchable. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
And then you talk about just pure, in my personal view,
Yeah.
whether it's songwriting, production, one of the greatest to ever do it is Kenneth Babyface Evans. I mean, Babyface, without question. I mean, my goodness. So me, as a writer, as a producer, arranger, and performer and artist, I'd have to, like you said, if I had just 2,
Yeah.
I'd have to talk to those guys. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. Like I said, I mean, you have people that are literally living legends.
Right.
If I have my choice,
Right.
oh man.
Right.
So Stevie, Face, let's.
Call Benjie.
I'm ready.
Ross. He's been ready
Face,
since 4th grade.
Face, I DM'd you Face too. Let's start with, I mean, on the real.
Okay. So then let's get to your newest baby.
Yes.
You consider it your baby?
All my songs are my babies. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tears Run Dry.
Tears Run Dry.
Yes. And that song came out of?
Wow. It came out of love. It came out of many things. I think I talked on it earlier. I mean, my heart wrote that entire song, Kenya. Oh man, and the interesting thing, and not too many people know this, when I wrote the song, my dad was sick at the time, and so you think about like I talked about my childhood earlier. For me, I mean, gosh, there's no greater influence than my parents and my family, in my life. We think about all the things we do and how great we think we are, but we're nothing without them, right? Great friends and your family, number one. That's the foundation. So I think the only episode I saw of Dr. Phil, I saw one episode, I will admit.
Yeah.
He talked about children talk about the impact of parents and kids. And he said that the same-sex parent is the most influential in a child's life. And I remember he said that.
I think
and I was like,
true.
oh, man, I used to study my dad. You know what I mean? It's like when you're kids, and being a parent myself, you always have to say, you always know your kids are watching. They may not say it.
Right.
They may not show it.
Right.
They're always listening, so good or bad. So you always have to be careful. Fortunately for me, I had a fantastic father and mother, so I could hear them. And my dad was a bit of a character and fantastic personality and great man. I could hear him entertaining my mom at night, telling jokes.
Yeah.
I could hear him singing and hugging and kissing on her and singing in the
God.
kitchen.
Okay. I think I would have been throwing up.
No, it was great to see. As a young kid.
Beautiful. It was beautiful.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
And so, but you don't realize it as a kid. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I'm studying all of that as a kid.
And
so,
it was so normal to you.
Oh, that's how it was.
That's how couples and families are probably were too.
That's how they did. My parents knew each other all their lives. Didn't really connect until the later high school and college years. They're from Detroit, and just a great love story. But they showed all that every day. And as a child, it doesn't really register. Even as a young man, sometimes.
Yeah.
But having that for me, going back to the song "Tears Run Dry," my dad was ill, so. As I'm doing this, and sometimes I said my heart wrote this song, but a lot of things are subconscious, right? And you write things unconsciously or subconsciously. So I'm writing a song. It wasn't because of any particular reason at the time.
Yeah.
But I guess because of everything I was going through, that was the strongest emotion that was coming out. About love and loss and memories and greatness. And so while my dad was ill, obviously in the back of my mind, from a practical perspective, away from the studio, you're worried and concerned, everybody, and your heart is hurting, and you're thinking about all these emotions. So I remember I was doing the rough mix, and Todd Brown. I mean, first of all, Todd is,
and that's who's singing.
Yeah,
that's
Todd Brown,
yes.
right? The lead vocalist on that track, "Tears Run Dry," is just phenomenal. I mean, that is a voice, and he knows this. His voice is just phenomenally gifted. Me and Todd met. Todd was one of the acts. He was the lead vocalist on a group called Pieces of a Puzzle, or POP, when I first signed with Hammer. That's how we met.
Okay.
And so I'd always known, I always had Todd on many tracks, but something about this particular track, I was listening to some rough mixes that I had done earlier in the week, and I'm sitting in my home studio, and his vocals are just so ridiculously fantastic. I just got caught up in it, and all the memory, all the things that I experienced as a kid, all the family times. All I could do was cry. That's all I could do. And so you talk about the power of a performance.
Right.
And these were just rough mixes.
Right.
So just listening to Todd, right then, I'm just sitting in the studio, just a mess. Like, oh, man. But right then and there, that's when I knew who this song was for. Yeah. It was for my dad. And that's where the dedication came.
So was the song finished before he passed?
It was finished. But you know what? He never heard it. He passed away years ago. He never heard this song. He never heard this song. So what you hear in present day is a tribute, in retrospect, to him. The video with all the home footage and all the sentiments. So I mean,
what was it like when you showed your mom?
Oh boy!
Like, what was her like? Did she even know you were working?
She had no idea. So
then
total surprise. Yeah.
So then, how did you present it, and what was her reaction?
Great question. Because I had to plan it out. I had been working on this piece. I'd written a while back, but it really birthed last year out of the pandemic. I knew that I wanted to release a piece, but I said, okay, I always want to put my best foot forward, and I said, man, this is perfect for many reasons, obviously from personal reasons, but then you look at what's happening on a global perspective. Right. Look at all the loss and on all the tears and all the things that are happening. And I had always been listening to this song over and over and over again the whole time. So I knew just with the performance, this was going to be the one. But I didn't have a video in mind per se. I didn't have a time frame. Then it got closer, and I said, you know what? I got to make it happen. So then I started to work on it, and I got Todd out. We had to finish up some pieces. I had my players come in as far as instrumentalists. Yeah. Then it started to really shape up, and I said, oh, I cannot put this out without a video. Yeah. But I had, it's funny enough, as long as I've been writing and producing, I'd never been in a video myself. I've had little cameos. I've never had a video from any of my work. I've been on video shoots. So this is the first time I was not only in a video, but it's the first time I was actually directing a video. So I'm like, oh boy, I better not mess this up.
Yeah, you didn't. It's really beautiful.
No, thank you. But like I say, the tribute, the reason why it was important for me to put it out, because I really wanted to do something special and something unique. Right. And so for me, there was no greater influence in my life, outside of my parents and my dad specifically. Right. People say I'm just like him. Right. So when you take it to your mother,
oh boy, what was her reaction?
Well, okay. Well, first and foremost, the day before I released it, I let my son Justin see it first, because Justin has been in the studio from day one since he was a baby. He's come to the studio, so he was one of the first ones to actually hear it years ago.
Okay.
So I had the video done for maybe like a month prior.
Yeah.
And we call him Juju. And I said, Juju, hey, come listen. So he was over. He's a young man now. He's a little older now. So he sat down on the couch, and I said, check this out, man. I got it done. I'm excited. And at that time, no one had seen it.
Okay.
So I'm really nervous because you don't know how it's going to resonate.
Just you and Juju.
That's right, just me and Juju. But it's got real home clips, video clips of me and my siblings.
Yes.
The first time we were in the snow, playing in the backyard. It's got, it's just priceless things. And to me, it means the world. But you never know how it's going to resonate. So we're sitting down, and I said, here it is, man. And I got the speakers up, and I'm playing it on my laptop. And he's watching. He's asking a couple of questions. I'm like, yeah, check it out. So, it pans through, and I said, oh, and then I have, obviously, there's a cameo of him in there, a picture of me and my dad and him. But you never know how things are going to resonate. About 2 minutes into it, I said, oh, man. I said, what do you think? I look over. He was shedding some tears. Oh. And I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
But I shed so many tears throughout this whole process, even on the video shoot. I filmed it all in Oakland, even parts of it are where my dad was laid to rest.
Yes.
It's just a lot of emotions. But to have something that important to me resonate.
Right. Did it resonate with your mother?
Yes. And I know you want me to get to that. I had to tee that up. But let me talk about the next day.
Okay.
I said, I got to show it to my mom.
Yeah.
And my mom to Justin. It's Mama Etna. My mom, Etna Ross. Hi, Mom, by the way.
Hey, Mom.
So it was all a surprise. And so Justin had never seen it. So we were talking right after we were watching the video. I said, what do you think? I said, yeah, she's gonna be crying. He's like, yeah. So I said, Mom, hey, I want you to check it out.
Yeah.
I want to show you something. I didn't tell her. I just showed up.
Yeah.
And then she's like, because I knew she was gonna ask a million questions. I said, just make sure you don't ask any questions. I just want you to watch it.
Yes.
So I had the speakers up. She's all excited.
Yeah.
I know she wanted to ask 500 questions. So then it starts up, and the video starts.
Is her name Kenya? I ask a lot of questions. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. It starts up. It starts up, and obviously it starts with you see me writing. Yeah. And then it goes, and then the first clip you see is me and my siblings. That's the first time we were in the snow, and that footage is footage that my dad filmed. So you hear myself, and I say my younger sister is Roxanne. We called her Roxy, or my dad called her Fox. So you hear in the video, I'm 7 years old, and I'm looking at the camera, and I say, look at Roxy, Daddy. So that's the first thing you hear. So then my mom sees the footage. Now, this is the beginning of the video. Yeah. And she just starts welling up the tears. And I just kind of grab her hand, and I just let her ride all the way through.
Yeah.
And then you see the pictures of my dad, and then you see me walking through, and I'm walking through different parts. And,
yes.
Man, so yeah, it was very emotional. I can't tell you how touching it was for it to resonate and for her to see it first. Yeah. Her and my son.
Okay, so you're walking through a cemetery?
I am, at a few different points in it, yep. You can't tell up at front. I did it so you couldn't really tell. I'm walking through a few areas, and then you see toward the end, then you see me at where my dad was.
So is that really his gravesite?
Yes, that's actually where it was.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So now I know this is like a tribute or a love letter to your father.
That's right.
But as a person who lost a father, and I think anyone who has suffered loss.
Yes.
You could relate to it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because it was your story, but it fed me.
That's right.
And I'm sure other people will see it. It's really, really, the words are beautiful. It's really, really beautiful.
No, thank you.
The visuals also.
No, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And you bring up a great point. Little did I know that it would resonate on multiple levels. I'm getting calls and texts and people from I don't even know, from all over the country, all over the world. Yeah. And people are saying, man, you don't know how much this touched me. I lost a family member. Right. People are retweeting it. Hammer retweeted it several times, talking about, he told me he cried. Yeah. It's so, when grown men are calling you and telling you that they cried, I'm like, whoa.
You have something special.
Yeah. So for me, it's extremely humbling. Yeah. But I love it because that's the goal. Yeah. You want I can't tell you how many times I've gone into the studio and you want something to resonate on those
Right.
levels. You know what I mean? And
Right.
it's obviously highly personal to me,
Right.
and my baby, if you will. But I mean, to get that response and people calling and texting and crying, oh man, I couldn't even ask for it. So that's all the gratification I could ever ask for, to be quite honest.
Okay, so then I think now's a good time for us to see a little snippet of it. What about you?
Yes.
All right, so let's do that. All right.
Thank you.
Tears Run Dry.
All right.
I never give up on my promise that I will keep marching till I see your face. Ooh, but I don't know how to live after all that my soul had to give. The world doesn't know how I feel in my heart, in my mind, but you're gone away. Don't know why I searched every corner of my mind, so I have to cry till the tears run dry. Oh, sometimes I wonder if I really did enough.
Okay, so like I said, for those of you who didn't know, now you've seen a little snippet of Tears Run Dry, and I'm sure you, like I, thought it was definitely worth a download, a purchase, but definitely worth going to watch the full clip. It was really good.
Oh,
So
thank
it
you.
made me
Thank you.
want, I was wondering, like, when you think of your dad, what
Yep.
is the fond, do you have the fondest, like, do you, like, if I asked you the fondest memory, I'm sure he did a lot of things fantastic, but
Oh, man.
is there one thing that sticks out about your dad?
Well, first of all, there's endless. My dad, let me preface it by saying my dad was multifaceted, multi-talented,
Yeah.
just an exceptional man and father and son and brother and
Yeah.
great, obviously, for all of us. So there isn't just one thing. But one thing I always loved about him is that, and I talk about it to this day, and I made sure I did that even before my son, Justin, was even born.
Yeah.
I said, my dad was an orthopedic surgeon. My
Yeah.
mom's been in education, so they're all extremely busy.
Yes.
You get 4 kids, you're
Right.
busy. Family of 6, we're doing a lot of stuff. But one of the things that he was adamant about, and my mom, he never missed anything that we ever did. Never miss anything. He would be on call.
Yeah.
He'd be surgeries, whatnot. He made sure whether it was all our sports games, music events, activities.
Wow.
Anything we were doing, and they never missed anything for any of the kids.
Wow.
So that's probably the greatest thing I learned
Yeah.
as far as just engagement, being
Yeah.
involved. Being an involved parent. I mean, there's many great gifts and things that he blessed me
Yeah.
with, as well as my mom
Yes.
as well. But I think that is the one thing. I mean, because one thing I think that's the most important element in life is time. And a lot of times we never get enough of, but you can
never get
it
back. That's right.
You never get it back. And so I love the fact that he made sure and made the time.
Yeah.
A lot of times we can legitimately say we don't have the time, but he made the time.
Right.
So that's
Did
a
you do
huge
the same
difference.
thing for your son?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Day one. Now he's older now.
Yeah.
About to be 22. So
Yeah.
he may not want to spend the time.
Right. Right.
I'm not as cool as I used to be. That's okay. I do miss that though.
Yeah.
But up until those days, up until
Yeah.
the 20 and late
Yeah.
teens, of course, you miss anything. Miss
Oh,
anything.
that's
All the
great.
football. Justin played
Yeah.
5 sports.
Yeah.
Playing. He was performing and doing
Yeah.
different things. He was in the Oratorical Fest at Joaquin Miller in Montero.
Yeah.
He won that as a kid, speaking in front of thousands of people. No way I'm missing any of that
Yeah.
stuff because
Yeah.
they grow up so fast.
Right.
You know what
I
I mean?
agree. Yes.
Nothing in life is worse than regret.
Right.
So I love that part.
Right.
No one is perfect.
Yes.
But I think being there, hey,
Yeah.
that's step one.
Okay. So, lucky Justin, he had a great father
No,
that was present.
I'm the one who's blessed. I'm the one.
So, okay. So I know you have another interview, but I want to get through. I want you to come back.
Thank you. Yes.
Because I want to get into your physical, the marathons and all of that. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
But I
Yes.
so really I do. And
Okay,
then
okay.
and just so you know, Benjie is back to high school weight.
No,
okay?
no, not yet.
Not
Getting there. Getting there.
he's there. Okay. And there are not a lot of us that could say we will ever even get close to high school weight. Okay. So
Kenya, you haven't gained a pound. Kenya's gained about 3 pounds since high school, max. Okay. Gina Tay,
So-
oil of Olay. I know what time it is over there.
Okay, but listen, we're going to play a game.
Oh, God.
It's Fast Five. Now, Benji can't take a lot of time thinking, okay? And there is no prize, okay? Because
There's gotta be a prize.
No, this is a budget. The show's on a budget.
Okay, I got you.
We ain't got no prizes.
Right,
okay?
right.
Okay. Favorite restaurant in the Bay Area?
Ooh.
I'll even let you take it as far as Vallejo or like,
Oh, I don't have to go that far.
Oh, I heard that.
But wait, see, that's not fair, though.
Damn.
Yeah, see, right. Oh, no, not James.
Okay, if you can, where would you go? If
Ooh.
somebody said, I'm taking you anywhere in the Bay, where
the
would
Bay.
you go?
See, there are a lot of good ones, though.
You only get one.
See, that's
I only
not
got
fair.
enough for one.
That's
What
not
is
fair.
it?
That's not fair.
They're all good, but because I'm forcing Benji to choose just one, please don't
What
hurt.
kind of food are we talking? Just anything?
It's your meal. It's the last meal. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know.
Damn. Come on, not one.
I mean, there's some good ones.
Okay, your
lady-
favorite bar or lounge. Is that easier? Oh, no. Oh, God.
She got a lot.
Damn, good thing it's not a prize. You wouldn't get it anyways.
I wouldn't take it too
What
much.
the hell?
There's a lot of good ones, though. You're putting a lot of pressure on me.
I just need one. I'm not even asking you to name them all. I just need one. The first one that comes to mind is probably your favorite.
Well, it's the newest. My boy Chris, M2.
Okay.
M2. I'm gonna patronize that
Okay.
in the very near future.
Okay. Favorite artist to come out of the Bay Area?
Ooh.
Any genre.
Oh man, I have a few.
Damn, Benji,
Oakland?
come on. We got.
Come on. Well, I got to give a shout out to Hammer. I got to give a shout out to Hammer.
Okay.
Hammer gave me my start. I got it officially.
Okay.
I got to get it, but I got to add a few.
Add one
Larry
more.
Graham. I used to live up the hill.
Oh, Larry Graham. He wasn't even in my radar.
I used to
forgot
live up
about
the
him.
hill from Larry Graham off of Malcolm.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I got it's some more.
No.
The Tonys. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay, no, enough. Okay.
What's up,
now,
Dwayne? What's up,
okay. Shout out to Dwayne.
Ray.
What song? Oh, when you came today, what song were you playing? What's the last song you heard in your car when you got out?
Ooh.
Damn, this I'm for
No,
you.
no,
This
no,
is
no,
slow
no.
five. This
No.
is slow ass five.
See, that's some tough. The last song I heard,
Yeah, when you got out your car, what were you playing?
I wasn't listening to anything.
You were just in your car in silence.
Yep.
Is that normal?
I
Is that
just meditate.
normal?
I meditate and pray sometimes.
Oh,
I know
now I
it's-
can't say nothing because you said prayer.
See, I messed you up. No, but seriously, a lot of times because it's so crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I will say what I listened to right before I left.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay, sounds like a
Silk
lie.
Sonic. No, Silk Sonic.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That right before I left.
Okay.
But every now and then I have moments where I kind of just let me wind down.
Yeah,
Because
I
it was
get that.
crazy. I was busy. I had a bunch of meetings.
Yeah.
I was talking.
And then you had to get ready for me.
That's right. So I had, let me
Boom.
be my best.
Bring it down.
Hey, come on now.
Let me get in the
I had
zone.
I had to be one with the Almighty.
right.
I had to step it up.
to deal with me, right? Okay. A lot of prayer. There was a lot of
Right,
prayer
right.
before I walked in here.
A lot of pressure.
Okay. Honesty or loyalty?
What would I pick
Yeah.
first?
What's more important to you?
Oh, honesty.
Okay.
Honesty.
Favorite activity or pastime? This is the last one.
Ooh.
Oh, every time you say, ooh, we need 5 extra seconds.
You know what? I don't get enough of it these days.
What?
But I say family time.
Oh.
That is.
Okay.
I miss that because we're all older and the kids are older. Yeah. Family time. Just quality family time.
Okay. Well, those were Benji's slow fives. And if there was a gift,
Slow five.
yeah,
That's
he
why-
would.
I
he
want
wouldn't
to
have
take my
won.
time and make sure the answer was authentic.
Well, authentic is the first thing that comes to mind, right?
Right.
Not
She
all
called
this.
me- she called me
Oh, I did it.
See, she heard it. You're right. Let me get it. A little
Look,
edit
it's
there.
fine. We weren't having sex. Who
Yeah,
cares? That's the only time it's a problem.
No comment.
Okay. So with that, I want to say thank you, Benjie Ross, for
Thank you.
coming to the Truly Kenya podcast, and you
I
will come
appreciate
back.
Of course, anytime.
Aw,
Anytime.
okay.
Anytime.
All right.
Can I give a shout out to my?
You can give a shout out to whoever you want.
Well, first and foremost, thank you.
Slow. This is going to be a very slow shout
I
out.
want to take my time with it because you got to let it marinate.
Okay.
This is important.
Hey.
Well, first of all, thank Kenya and everyone here
Aw.
for allowing me to share her air today. Really appreciate it. Great to see you.
I appreciate you.
But I want to thank everybody who means so much to me in my life. Obviously, my parents, my mother and my father, my brothers, Allie and Peter, my sister, Roxanne, my son, Justin, whom I mentioned and love dearly. all of my great friends and family, the city of Oakland, M.C. Hammer, Toni, all the great Oakland artists. Short, what's up, Short? Short, I got some tracks for you too.
Hey,
that
was my
so many
artist.
great people that influenced me when you talk about music. I mean, locally, but then abroad. Michael, Prince, everybody. But then, as I've gotten older, the fellas, the crispy fellas, as you know, the city of Oakland, you can never leave those out. And Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, Morehouse College, and all the fans, all the friends, and the ones I even haven't yet to meet. I love you all.
Oh,
thank you.
Great. Now, that was Benjie Ross's acceptance speech for not winning the prize, but can you imagine
Talking
had he
slow.
won the prize,
We'd
still be here.
heart.
But
It's from
I
the
think you just manifested some sort of win at some point of something.
Oh, absolutely.
That was your acceptance
Well, that's
speech.
my goal. I mean, like
right.
I said, this particular track, I mean, it needs to have over 1 million streams.
So now
and
we
over 1
know.
million views.
Boom.
Yeah,
Okay, we're going to help you get them.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Thanks, guys. And for watching the Truly Kenya podcast. And leave your comments and go stream, go purchase Tears Run Dry.
Thank you. Featuring Todd Brown.
Featuring Todd Brown. All right. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
True.